Good morning and welcome to my happy place. I've decided to come back to playing in this puppy. My first experience was this one, and I certainly did feel like I was all thumbs. It's been so long since I did anything like this, so I said, I think this would be a lovely morning to try that. I also wanted to let you know that Northeast Florida temperature has just gotten up to 40 degrees and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, which means Jacksonville is feeling winter. It did not get down to freezing. There are some parts probably out in the country a little bit that got into the high 20s. But the sun is shining, and I love this little bit of a weather change because it gets so dry and crisp and luscious that I thought I would have a play here. In the process of gathering my goodies, I realized, as I said, that I did not have, that I said on my last video that, oops, I ran out of wax paper. That cannot happen in my world. So, I got my wax paper roll, and I said, well, why don't I just try to use this tearing ruler, this long one, because it seems to be faster. Life in art is always a learning curve, even at the low bottom end of the spectrum. My tears came out like this. Yes, they did. A couple of pages of them, and I said, oh, well, I'll just have to make do, but I grumbled. And I said, maybe it has to do with this bit of cork under there. So I flipped this face down, and I thought to myself, Carol, there is hope for you yet. It tore a treat. So, hint to the wise and sharing, finer the paper, maybe the cork issue isn't so wonderful. But I have my waxed paper now, so I'm a happy girl. This gets put out of harm's way. And so I have decided to work on here. So this needs to be protected. This needs to be protected within an inch of its life. So let's go flat down here. And let's see, make sure we're right up here. Yes, we are. This is the top. I don't want to make a mistake like that. It's not pleasant to do. So let's see if I can get this here. No runs, no hits, no errors this way, I hope. And I thought maybe I'll put this one here. Now, I'm feeling a bit safer about that. Good. And, because this is a water medium, check and recheck. Check twice and cut once, or whatever. Okay, now I feel a little bit safer about this. Not so much over here. Maybe a paper clip. Maybe a paper clip when all else fails. There. Now, the baskets came through again. I found her, and I thought, you know, I would love her as a focal. Yes, I would. And while I was in the basket, digging deeply, this is going to be so for my black and white, but mostly white journal and ephemera. I found this, that of course, out of sight, out of mind, but look at this little treasure that I found. Look at this little treasure. Now I remember doing this. And I cut it with the deckled edge ruler. Look at these pretty pages. Oh, they are going to be something, something. And down here, that I knew. Down at the bottom are my ladies. So, discoveries, discoveries. I'll put this one out of harm's back here. So I thought right here, looking that way I like, she's looking towards, out over the edge of the book, like that. So I got out my water, I got out my supply of watercolor brushes, and I got this out. Now let me explain this, but before I do explain it, I want to dig in and find some watercolors so that we can do swatches. I'm sorry I forgot that. I'll be right back. Well, they were right on top. They weren't too difficult to find. These are swatches and bits of offcuts of watercolor paper from over the years. So I like to use them to test. Now let me explain this $5 collection. I don't know whether it was Michael's. Could have been A.C. Moore. I'm not sure. And they're called watercolor. Now, they are hardly watercolor. They are, I think, a fine line between the transparent watercolors and gouache. And if you can see by looking at them, they're kind of flaky and thick and kind of opaque. What I love about these is this and this and this and this. You never find those except in these $5 sets, and I just love these. So I'm going to set her over here. I want some background here. And I have my Viva towel. You can set those aside. And we'll talk about these, if I get to them or not. We will see, but they're out of harm's way, and so is this one. So let's begin at the beginning here. And let's see exactly, and let's see exactly what we have here. Just a Princeton number 10 round. And so, let the experiments begin. Okay, that's number 1. This we'll call number 2. Maybe it's a little lighter. Not by much, but it is. Yes, it is. And now the fun begins. So that's 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. Well, wait till you see that one. 5 is a keeper. It's been a while. I don't expect this to be anything but orange. Let's use that a little heavier. There it is. Move up just a smidge so that you can see better. And now the big guns. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they feel, because they're $5, they feel chunky, but I can get past that so quickly because look at these delicious colors. Oh, I love them. You have a chance to have these. Do think about it. So we have warm and cool grays. And at last, oh yes, this is that delicious gray that has just a touch of green in it. Loving it. So, let's have a look now. Maybe I'm going to dry it for just a second. Turn your sound down if this annoys you. And I have pulled these lamps closer today so that you can have more light, and that's why these tops might be showing. I'm going to move them in even further. I don't use these all the time, but look at those. Let's mark them now. Here pops up the school teacher. So we said this was 1. This one was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just delightful. And if you notice, they are not that, for a child it would be fine and more than enough. But for our purposes, I'm loving that. It's, I think, no, I'm not an expert, I have no idea, but I think I would call this halfway between watercolor and gouache. And let me show you what some of these other ones do. I'll just pick random colors. How about this one? How about this one? And let's do yellow, just for fun. Okay. Now yellow at the best of times is tricky business. And of course, just because I think it would be a good idea, let's try this green-ish. Greenish blue, let's say. These have not been used, so it's hard to get that pigment started, but there they are. And when you want something this light and pale, it's food for thought and $5. So we're going to put this over here. And we're going to look here and decide what color we want to put down behind this girl. Because all of this has been about, all of this, like her bodice on her dress, all of this has been about getting some background there. I think we're going to have number 8. Yes, we are. This puppy being number 8. And out of harm's way again. And off we go. It's not going to be too easy to get get some of this to slosh on, so I'm going to use a sloshing brush here. This is No, Carol, not your water. This water would be much better. Okay, let me get some pigment rubbed here. Rub and scrub. And not being very happy to do this, are you? Maybe the thing here is that you almost have to use the little palette. Yes, I'm thinking so. Live and learn. We can do this. Yes, we can. I'll get these over here so that I will remember that they have been used and they need a wash up. And let's get this one. Good square 1/2 inch Princeton square brush. Let's go now. I am going to make this juicy and just have at it, because that's the point of all of this, is to be fun. I don't want to get it close to that. I don't want to get it close to that washi up there, even though it's been glued. I want to take that. Whoop. Not the best quality watercolor, and I'm watercolor paper, and I'm using a good bit of it to lay down some color here. I might as well use that. I'm not mixing colors. Oh yes, it's starting to soften up. The top of the cake of color is starting to soften up, so it's laying down more pigment. Now let's see. Oh, dirt. Let's come out of here. Out, out. Ready? Now I'm going to go. I'm going to run some on across here. Down. And across here, just because I want a little variation. It's probably a figment of my imagination, but, and back. Now, see what's happening with that paper, and that's to be expected when you put so much water on watercolor paper of this quality. And let's put this down, and I'm going to have to dry this, so I'll be back when she's dry. And remember, I'm going to be drying the top, and I'm going to be turning it over and drying it from the back. Well, I've had time to dig about in my flowers stash, and I thought that because these ribbons on her hat are black, I would put a little stamping on here. But before that, while I was doing this, I realized that I wanted her to have a little bit of softness and a little bit of color. So I'm going back to this pink that we swatched before, and I'm seeing what we might be able to do here to soften up her corner of the world. And let's see if we can get it to blend out the way watercolor would. I haven't got great faith in it for $5, but one never knows. Okay. Let's just get that down here a little bit more. Okay. And a little bit more down here. little texture in it if I can, since this is rather thick. And let's see if we hit the spot. Yes, I think so. Alrighty. Set this over and dry again. It shouldn't take too long. Nope. That's going to take a little more drying. Sorry, I'll be right back. That's much better. And now well, I have to make a move here. This is not going to work that way. No, it isn't. Let's see if I have my smaller. There we go. There. Okay, now hold it for a few seconds to make sure that it takes, and yes it did. And here she goes. Okay, now let's have just a little smidge of some leaves. Okay, now let's have them going this way. And that way. Alrighty, we've made our statement and brought out the black. So now I want to play up some of these colors, and I've decided that I'm going to use 9 and 3, and I decided not to use 5, and now I'm not going to use 6 either because of I've added that pink softness at the bottom. So we're going to have a little 3 and 9 down here now, and this is a number 4. Let's have a number 6. We need this to be just a little bit bigger. That's 2, 8, 6 was hiding. There it is. Now back with the colors that we want. Let's have 3. Let's have 3, but let's Let's first put on. No, I might use a pen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm arguing with myself. Let's just start out with 3. Now these hold water just beautifully. Let's see what we can do here. We need a little more pigment there. There we go. Need lots of water on that. And do one more. Finally able to gather up some pigment. Good. You notice I did not need to come back for much water here. I was able to do all of those leaves because of the nature of this this brush. Oh, this is just a play. This is just a playbook that I have made, and I'm just going to be doing this and having fun. I do hope that you will enjoy playing with me like this. And I think we need one up here. Well, we have 5. No, we don't. We won't. Let's put a little bit something over here. Just because we can. I want to go for my my other color. And I decided on 9. Okay, let's do some 9 here now. I think there's almost like an encasing top layer on this, and when we get through it, it seems to do the trick nicely. Oh my, yes, didn't this just, where are you, girl? Here you are. Bringing out her hair and her bodice on her shirt or her top of her dress. Although it probably looks to me like it was a shirtwaist. I want these warm grays to be a little bit, just a little bit smaller. Now, Let's have just a little more in here. Do we need some here? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, no, girl. Now, oh yes, it makes a difference. Makes a difference. Don't cause a calamity, Carol. Was it in my way for seeing my screen? These, okay, these are curving around her and up now. I'm wondering, we just shouldn't try. We just shouldn't try. Where is it? This is Winsor Newton Iridescent Medium. Produces iridescent effects. And yes, it does. It certainly does. And I haven't used this in 2 years, so we're going to have at it now. And we're going to add a little pizzazz to the girl. Some of them I will put right over the brown and the grays, and some I will put off by themselves, and they will hardly show unless it's held in the unless the piece is held in the right to the light correctly. Okay, let's see what we get now. Where's my swatch? I'll make a big dip here for you to see. Okay, let's get that one cleaned. Okay, let's get down here. Oh, let's just use that. Alrighty. Now, I'll put it over this pink. Let's see if you can see that iridescence. Maybe better there. Yes, better there. It's definitely no fooling around iridescent. I forgot how much fun that was, too. Alrighty, I'm going to clear this off a little bit because it's starting to close in on me. And when I'm doing painting like this, folks, I just can't stand all this craziness around me. I'll be back. Well, now I have a workspace that lets me focus. So, I'm going to bring these down a little bit. Try to get them off the wax paper, but we need that right now. So, another little jiggle of the Winsor Newton Watercolor Iridescent Medium. Of course, it must say watercolor. Clean water, iridescent medium, the number 4 brush. Nope, nope, not number 4. Number 6 it is. Number 6 it is. Just let's get at this. I'm just going to plunge some of these in the top here. And to let's see, over here now. See if we can get so that you can see what's happening. There they are. Here, 3 here, 3 here. And we get a little bit more of a close-up, which we're going to do now. You will probably have a better opportunity to see this with me. Yes, there it is. There they are. Okay. Sparkling right into view. Here and here. Now, we do some here, and here, there, and this can be mixed with watercolors to turn the ones that you have into Joys Forever. And one here. Let's catch these two while we're doing this. And one more here. And since this is so much fun, I'm thinking that that's next up. Those are lovely, lovely golds for watercolor. And let's see what we have now. I think, let's not, there we go. This gets to be put back on my list of the things to think about. These Gansai Tambi Starry colors, I've had those for ages too, and they are just wonderful. Now, choices. Blue gold, red, and yellow, very bright. Champagne gold or light gold. What is she saying to us? What do we want? What do we want? The yellow gold would be too strong. So we have to go with either champagne, and then you've got all of this tan up here, or light. Let's try champagne. Let's just, okay, now, let me get that iridescent off there. And now with this Gansai Tambi, you have to put the water on here and stir it around and make soup. There's just no other way to get this to really to work well unless you put the water on there and really get that that top layer released to get the maximum bang for your buck on this. Where's this little puppy again? There we go. And this is the lighter one. Let's put it over here now. Now that would run down because it's too much, there's a lot of water on this. I'm going to take it out when I actually paint. But there it is. turn this again. I'll go slowly this time. Yes, I will. Let's have that one here. And here. And one more. One more. Oh, yes. Light, but it's there. And here we're just going to go right over what we already have here. And that's it's still got so much water on it that it fills the brush just beautifully. And let's have gold right over iridescent. Why not? And here, 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 and one more standing up there by itself, small one, here, here, here. Alrighty. Well, after we get some stems on these leaves, we can call this a done deal. Okay. Clean that brush well. Let that dry. Probably for 6 hours, because I absolutely don't want anything nasty to happen to those to them. So there is where we are thus far, and we've had just nothing but practice and play today. Okay. Let's go back to these. And what is the darkest one? Let's have number 7. Yes, number 7 it is. Okay, number 7 it is. And let's see what happens here. This is a Pentel brush. And I know it's got a name, special name, but did not keep it, and I'll have to give it a think, because it does this kind of thing so well. And now, let's start here and go bottoms up and get some rhyme or reason going here. Bring these puppies together. There we go. Now I have to move these in together a little bit, so thing here is for you to see the is for you to see as much of this as you can. Isn't this brush just delish? Now you go here. You're coming right down to there, and you are coming there. There we go. Okay, got those two. And you are coming in here. And you are coming there. And you are coming here. And you go there. Oops. Not happening. We must keep this brush, keep this working right on that little fine point. There. And you are going to come down here. And you are coming in here. You're set, you're set. Yes, yes. Sorry about this talking, but ah, thank heavens that was covering. Ah, that piece of white safety paper just came in handy. Alrighty. I'm going to stop this because you're going to see me continue to do this. And, well, what I want to do is come back with my Muji pen. Oh, you thought you were going to get away with it too. Gotcha. My Muji pen, and I'm going to put a little heavy dot at the end of each of the leaves so that it connects them to the stem. Alrighty. It has been so much fun playing with the toys that I've been neglecting for a year or more, and they are just as much fun now as they always were. We reacquainted myself and with you, I hope, with the Winsor Newton watercolor iridescent medium, with the wonders of the Gansai Tambi paints and how to use them. The trick is put water on top of them and make heavy cream. Oh, sorry, light cream. And versifying, and I have to admit, it bothered me that it wasn't set off enough on the end, so I went back to the old Stays On Stone Gray and put just a little bit around the edge of the girl. This is turning out to be a good friend. These are Uniball Signo DX, and this one is the finest, number 0.28, and waterproof. which is wonderful. And my 3 paintbrushes, 2 silver black velvets in 4 and 6, and this Pentel, I don't know the name, there is a name for it, but it is the one who did the fine lines. So let's have a look now at today's fun. I'm going to get just a little bit closer. There we go. Now let's get the light to work. And there she is. There she is. The iridescent and the champagne gold doing their job. And I'm going to get even a little closer because I wanted to show you how using the liner, we got the stems for the leaves, and by using the pen at the bottom of each leaf, those little growth lines connected the situation, added a little darkness which it needed. And so, excuse me, here we are with the girl finished. I've had great fun, and I hope you have a book in your collection in which you can play like this. I do hope you've enjoyed. Excuse me again. And if you do, I would hope that you would leave a comment, and I would appreciate you subscribing to my to my channel. Sorry again. See you soon. Bye now.